Hello students, welcome to BioSmart Academy. In today's lecture, we were going to start a new module, that is the module number 1, Biochemistry. Okay, and students, this module is very important from examination point of view. This module, biochemistry, is not only important from examination point of view, but it's also important from your future perspective, as when you qualify CSIR, then it will be helpful on your interview process as well. And also this module is very you can say that this module is a base of molecular biology as well. So in all perspective, you have to study this module biochemistry very well. Okay, so from today onwards, we will going to upload many videos on biochemistry. Okay, now before I start today's lecture on this module, that is lecture number 1, I just want to recommend you that we already uploaded 22 videos on cell biology and 18 videos on immunology, okay, on our YouTube channel, that is BioSmart Academy. And believe me that all these videos that we were uploaded, that is 22 videos on cell biology and 18 videos on immunology, all these videos are important, very important from examination point of view, either from CSIR, GATE, DBT, Icmr, or any other examination type. And these videos will also be useful for your MSc level. Okay, so I hope that you watched all these videos, and if you don't watch till now, then please watch all these videos. Okay, because these videos are made strictly according to the syllabus of this CSIR. Okay, so I hope that you understand what I am trying to say. Okay, so now let's start today's topic on a new module, that is module number 1, biochemistry. Very important module from every perspective. Okay, so let's start today's topic, that is lecture 1 of biochemistry, that is biomolecules and their interactions. Okay, and remember one thing, I will teach this module in such a simplification manner that you will have no doubts in your mind, because this module is basically tough for many students. They don't like biochemistry, but believe me, I will teach in such a simplified manner that you will have not a single doubt in your mind. Okay, and if you have still, then you may comment. So let's start today's topic, that is biomolecules and their interaction. So first of all, we should look about the biomolecules, about its types, then we will go for the interaction part. Okay, and in the interaction part, we mainly discuss, or we mainly deal with the non-covalent interactions, non-covalent interactions. Okay, so first we have to understand that what is biomolecule. Okay, first we have to understand that what is basically the term biomolecule means. Okay, so simply biomolecule basically means a carbon based organic compound, a carbon based organic compound that is basically produced by living organism. Okay, so biomolecule is a carbon based organic compound that is produced by living organism. Okay, so this is biomolecule. Biomolecule is basically, this biomolecule is basically made up of some important element. Okay, there are basically 25, more than 25 chemical elements are found on this biomolecule. Okay, so there are more than 25 chemical elements are found on this biomolecule, but there are major 4 element. Basically there are major 4 element which make up about 99% of most cell, of most cell of the of mass of the most cell. Okay, so basically there are 4 elements, and what are these 4 elements that basically form most of the mass cell? These are nitrogen, oxygen, carbon and hydrogen. So basically nitrogen, oxygen, carbon and hydrogen Okay, so these 4 elements make up over 99% of mass of the most cell, So this 4 element basically very important from biomolecules perspective. Okay, so this is another point. And Another important point about biomolecule is that biomolecules, if we classify it, is basically of two types. Okay, it is basically of two types. Okay, one is micromolecule, and another one is macromolecule. Okay, so basically it is classified into two types. One is micromolecule and another one is macromolecule. So what are the example of micromolecules? Micromolecules such as sugar, amino acid, nucleotides, and fatty acids, and many more. Okay, so these are the example of micromolecules. Okay, it means these are the small molecules. And remember one point, from these micromolecules, that is sugar, amino acid, nucleotides, and fatty acids, the macromolecules are formed. Okay, the macromolecules are formed. Okay, for example, from sugar we get carbohydrate, as you all know that. Okay, from amino acid we get protein, as you all know that. From nucleotide we get nucleic acid, that is DNA and RNA, and from fatty acids we get lipid molecules. Okay, so these are the macromolecule: carbohydrate, protein, nucleic acid, and lipid. Okay, so these are the macromolecules. We will study all these macromolecule one by one on the later stages. Okay, so all these macromolecules are basically formed from these micromolecules, like sugar, amino acid, nucleotide, and fatty acid. Okay, so these are the some basic concept of the biomolecule, and I believe that you got a clear idea about all these basic concepts of biomolecules. Okay, still if you have any doubt, then you may ask me on the comment box. Now let's move to the important topic, that is interactions. Okay, so basically we have to study this interaction, especially we have to study the non-covalent interaction. Okay, so basically first of all you should know that what is interaction. Okay, so suppose this is molecule A, okay, and this is molecule B. Okay, now these two molecules should interact each other. Okay, so for the interaction of these two molecules, it needs some amount of energy. Okay, some amount of force it needs. Okay, so these are basically done either through covalent forces, or through non-covalent forces. Okay, or through non-covalent forces. Okay, so there are basically two kind of interaction we basically mostly see. One is covalent and another one is non-covalent. So in case of non-covalent, it is a major type of interaction that is present in our biological system. That is present in our biological system. Okay, so non-covalent interaction is the major type of interaction that is present in our biological system. Okay, that is present in our biological system, and we have to study this non-covalent interaction in details one by one. So we will going to see all this non-covalent interaction in today's lecture. Okay, now let's look at the PPT. So basically interaction is what? Interaction between the molecule basically depend on forming and breaking of chemical bond. So interaction, as I already mentioned, it is two type. One is covalent interaction, one is non-covalent interaction. Okay, now covalent interaction is formed by sharing of electrons, by sharing of a pair of electrons between the adjacent atoms, Okay, and remember one point, covalent interaction is basically the strongest, and it is basically covalent interaction is basically the strongest. Okay, so first of all let's look some important point about the covalent interaction. Okay, so it is the basically the first point is that it is basically the strongest interaction, and secondly it is basically non-reversible, radially non-reversible. Okay, we can say that it is radially non-reversible. Okay, Okay, clear? Now why we say radially non-reversible? Because to break a covalent bond it require very much energy, very high energy. Okay, it requires very high energy to break any covalent bond, as well as when the covalent bond is formed, the energy required is very high. So this is about the covalent bond. Okay, that is, it is the strongest chemical bond, it is radially non-reversible, and for formation and as well as for breaking of covalent bond it requires high energy. Okay, and it is basically formed through sharing of pair of electrons between the atoms. So this is our the covalent interaction, and the covalent interaction is not so much important from biological perspective, as our biomolecule system mainly formed from the non-covalent interaction. Okay, from the non-covalent interaction. So we have to study non-covalent interaction in details. Okay, so let's look about the non-covalent interaction. Okay, non-covalent interaction. First I give you some concept about the non-covalent interaction, then we look at the PPT. Okay, first of all I just want to mention one thing, that non-covalent interaction is present in every molecule. For example, in protein, you can see that in alpha helix and beta sheet. Okay, it is basically secondary structure of protein. Either you observe tertiary structure of protein, either you observe quaternary. All these structures of protein mainly formed through non-covalent interaction. Okay, either protein, okay, or you can say nucleic acids. Okay, all these are formed through non-covalent interaction. In protein, primary, secondary, tertiary as well as quaternary, all these are formed through non-covalent interactions. Okay, while in DNA also ATGC, all these pairing are formed through non-covalent interaction. Okay, so basically from this we can conclude that it is a major type of interaction that is present in our biological system, Okay, I hope that you clear till now all these things. Okay, now first look at the types of non-covalent interaction. Okay, so basically non-covalent interaction is basically majorly four types. One is electrostatic interaction. Okay, we will deal with all these types in detail. Okay, one is electrostatic interaction, one is hydrogen bond, one is van der Waals forces, and the last one is hydrophobic interaction. Okay, hydrophobic interaction. So basically these are four types of non-covalent interaction. Okay, that is electrostatic interaction, hydrogen bond, van der Waals forces, and hydrophobic interaction. Okay, we will look at all these type of non-covalent interaction in details. Okay, so first let's start with electrostatic interaction. Okay, see, first start with electrostatic interaction. Okay, electrostatic interaction. First I just provide you the concept, just look at the concept. Okay, electrostatic interaction. Okay, so what is electrostatic interaction? Okay, so first look at this electrostatic interaction. Okay, so basically remember one point, this is also known as ionic interaction also. Okay, so in case of electrostatic or ionic interaction, the interaction will always occur in between two oppositely charged molecule. Okay, for example, suppose this is Q1, one charged molecule, and this is Q2, another charged molecule. Okay, and both the molecule contain two different charge. Suppose it contain positive charge and it contain negative charge. Clear? So in this case the ionic interaction or electrostatic interaction is basically occur. Okay, clear? So in this case interaction is occur. Clear? So basically the interaction takes place between the two charged molecule. Clear? This is the most important point. Another important point is that it requires a medium. Okay, it requires a medium to occur. Okay, it requires a medium to occur. Okay, and it requires a medium to occur. This is another important point. Okay, so this is a basic concept of electrostatic interaction. Okay, and I just want to mention you that now I just want to ask you a question. Can you provide me example that which amino acid basically interact by this type of interaction? Okay, so the amino acid would basically interact by this type of interaction is basically positively charged amino acid and negatively charged amino acid. Okay, so lysine, this is positively charged amino acid. Arginine, this is also a positively charged amino acid, that is basic amino acid. And negatively charged amino acid, for example, aspartic acid and glutamic acid. Okay, so these are basic. So among this type of amino acid, this type of ionic interaction, or you can say electrostatic interaction, takes place. Okay, so these are important point regarding this interaction. Okay, now See, as I already told you that electrostatic interaction is basically takes place between the two charge molecule, that is Q1 charge 1 and Q2 charge 2. Okay, and the distance between these two charge molecule is the radius r. Clear? Radius r. Okay, and this is takes place in a medium, that is the medium is epsilon. Medium is represented by epsilon. Okay, so if we want to calculate its energy, so it basically calculated through Q1 Q2 by epsilon 4 pi r square. That is, it is under a spherical medium. Okay, that is 4 pi r square. So by this formula Q1 Q2 by epsilon 4 pi r square, we can easily calculate the ionic energy. We can easily calculate the ionic energy. I hope that you get a clear idea about this. Okay, now let's look at the PPT so that you get more clear idea. So basically electrostatic interaction occur between the two oppositely electrically charged molecule, that is positive and negative, as I already mentioned you. Okay, for example lysine, it is a basic amino acid, and aspartic acid, it is a acidic amino acid. So between these two the electrostatic interaction can takes place, as I already explained you in the figure. And remember one point, it is basically dependent on the medium, that is the medium medium epsilon. Okay, and through that medium you can easily calculate the ionic energy. Okay, and I already provide you the formula of ionic energy. Okay, I hope that you note it down. Okay, if you not, then please go back and please pause the video at that moment and note the formula. Okay, it may be asked on this Csir. And see this figure Q1 and Q2, and the distance between the two charged molecule is r. So I hope that you got a clear idea about the electrostatic interaction. If you have any doubt, then please comment. Now, second type of interaction is basically hydrogen bond. Okay, as the name suggests, hydrogen bond. Okay, so remember one point, it is basically occur on a polarized molecule. Okay, that is those molecules which are basically polar in nature. Okay, so basically remember one point, hydrogen bond is basically occur on a polar molecule. Okay, polar molecule. Okay, so basically hydrogen bond occur in a polar molecule. This is the first point. And second point, it occurs, hydrogen bond formation occurs when 180 degree angle. Okay, it occurs when 180 degree angle bonding will be there. Okay, that is for example, I just make you clear. Suppose this is, see hydrogen bonding occur in two types of molecule. One molecule that contain hydrogen and one molecule that does not contain the hydrogen. Okay, that is, see, so hydrogen bonding occur in two types of molecule. Okay, see the just observe the concept. Okay, just see the concept. Suppose this is one molecule. This molecule contain hydrogen. Okay, so what we can say, this is a donor molecule. Okay, donor molecule. Why? Because this molecule can donate the hydrogen. Okay, and another molecule, it does not contain the hydrogen. Okay, so what, this molecule is an acceptor molecule. So basically hydrogen bonding occur between the donor as well as acceptor molecule. Okay, that is that molecule that can donate the hydrogen to the acceptor molecule. Okay, and the hydrogen bond formation occurs when the angle between these two molecules is basically what, 180 degree. Okay, so I hope that you get the idea. Okay, so basically hydrogen bond always occur between two types of molecule. One is donor molecule that contain the hydrogen, and one is acceptor molecule which does not contain hydrogen. Okay, and when the angle between these two donor and acceptor molecule is basically 180 degree, then the hydrogen bond will form, and it will form in a stable conformation. So I hope that you got a clear idea about the hydrogen bonding. Okay, now let's look at the PPT. And remember one point, hydrogen bond is basically a attractive force. Why attractive force? Because attraction occur between hydrogen atom and the electronegative atom. It may be either nitrogen oxygen or fluorine. Okay, so the attraction occur between the hydrogen atom and the electronegative atom. Okay, and this electronegative atom either nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine. Okay, so this is about the hydrogen bond. Okay, as you can see in this figure, this is a hydrogen. Okay, and it contains the partial positive charge. Okay, del plus means what? Partial positive charge. And this is nitrogen, oxygen, and it also formed with fluorine also, that is del positive, partial positive and partial negative charge. Okay, so it always form through partial charges. So there is another point, it always form through partial charges. It always form through partial charges, either partial positive charge or either partial negative charge. So it always form, hydrogen bonding always form through partial charges, as you can see in this figure. Okay, now the order of bond strength in case of hydrogen bond is like this, that is first form HF, then HF, then HO and then HN. So this is the bond strength order in case of hydrogen bond. Okay, so this is the bond strength order. Okay, and hydrogen bond is always formed basically through the partial charges. Okay, so I hope that you got a clear idea about the hydrogen bonding. If you have still any doubt, then you may ask me on the comment box. Now move to another force, non-covalent force, that is van der Waals interaction. See, first of all, I want to clear a concept about the van der Waals interaction, then I will read the PPT. Okay, see, first of all, van der Waals interaction. Okay, remember one point, then that van der Waals interaction, first point, remember that van der Waals interaction is the weakest, it is a weakest non-covalent force. Okay, if a question is if a question will came in the examination that among the non-covalent forces, which is the weakest non-covalent force, the answer will be van der Waals interaction. Van der Waals interaction is the weakest non-covalent force among all other non-covalent interaction. Clear? Now van der Waals interaction, it is of three types. One is dipole interaction. Okay, one is dipole induced dipole interaction. Okay, and another one is induced dipole. Okay, so these are the three types of van der Waals interaction. Okay, so we look up one by one. First we look at the dipole interaction. Okay, so what is dipole interaction? See, this is a dipole interaction. Okay, so in case of dipole in both the molecule contain dipole moment, that is both molecule contain plus minus and plus minus charges. Okay, so in this case what attractive will occur? In this case what attractive will occur? Why attractive? Because positive negative, negative positive and positive negative positive, that is attractive. And in this case you can see positive negative, negative positive, that is a repulsion can see. Okay, so from this we can conclude that in case of dipole interaction, both the molecule, okay, so in case of dipole interaction, in case of dipole interaction, okay, in case of dipole van der Waals interaction, both the molecule contain dipole moment. Okay, okay, in one molecule positive negative and positive negative charge. So in this case the dipole interaction is of attractive type. Okay, attractive type as it contain opposite charges. Okay, as it contain opposite charges, while in this case the molecule is of repulsive type. The molecule is of repulsive types because in this case it contains the same charge. So basically van der Waals interaction shows both attractive as well as repulsive forces. So this is the van der Waals interaction. So this is the first type. Now second type. In second type, dipole and induced dipole. Okay, so in case of dipole and induced dipole, one molecule contain dipole moment, that is one molecule contain plus minus charge and one molecule does not contain any charge. So in this case, this molecule which contain the dipole moment, it transfer its charge, okay, and through this the charge is basically formed. Okay, so this is the case of dipole induced. Okay, that is the final result is like this, plus minus and plus minus. So this is a dipole induced dipole, that is the charge is induced to the other molecule which does not contain the charge. So this is the second type of van der Waals interaction. Now in case of third type, it is basically induced dipole and induced dipole. Okay, so in this case both the molecule does not contain any charge. Okay, so in this case both the molecule does not contain any charge. So in this case both molecule acquire charge by its own. First it acquire charge, and through this molecule acquire charge. So this is the induced dipole. So this is all about van der Waals forces interaction. Okay, so we basically read 3 points in van der Waals interaction. First point, it is basically the weakest type of interaction. Second point, it can be either attractive or repulsive. Third point, it does not require any medium. Okay, it does not require any medium. Okay, so in case of van der Waals interaction, medium is does not require. Okay, I cut it out. Medium is not required, and it is basically of 3 type: dipole induced dipole, and induced dipole. Okay, so this is all about the van der Waals interaction. I hope that you got a clear idea about the van der Waals interaction. And another important point about the van der Waals interaction is that when the atoms where the interaction basically takes place are closer, that is more close, so more the atom close to each other, stronger will be the repulsion. Okay, so when the atoms will be more closer to each other, okay, then stronger will be the repulsion, repulsion. Please note this concept. So this is all about the van der Waals interaction. Okay, this is all about the van der Waals interaction, and this is one graph which shows both attractive as well as repulsive forces in van der Waals interaction. Okay, and see, less the distance, more will be the van der Waals contact. Okay, that is a more will be the force. So I hope that you get a clear idea about the van der Waals interaction. Now the last type of interaction is the hydrophobic interaction. Now first of all, I want to provide you a concept about the hydrophobic interaction. Okay, then you get a clear idea about the hydrophobic interaction. Okay, so this is hydrophobic interaction. Okay, see, suppose these are the some molecules. Okay, these are the some molecules. Okay, and these molecules are basically what? Non-polar molecule. Okay, these are basically what? Non-polar molecule. Okay, so when we put this molecule around a water surface, okay, so this is the water molecule. See, okay, this is the water molecule. Okay, suppose this is a water molecule. Okay, when this we put this molecule around the water surface, that is inside the hydrophilic layer. Okay, that is inside the hydrophilic layer. Okay, so this is a hydrophilic part. Okay, this is a hydrophilic part. Okay, so inside this hydrophilic part, this non-polar molecule are present. Clear? So inside this hydrophilic part, this non-polar molecule is present. Now what this non-polar molecule will try to do? This non-polar molecule will try to move through this hydrophilic layer, and they try to form their own layer. Okay, own layer, and this concept is also known as solvation layer. So when this non-polar molecule is moved through this hydrophilic layer, and then they form their own layer like this own layer, and by displacing this hydrophilic molecule, then this concept is known as hydrophobic interaction. Now I will show a figure. Through that figure you got a clear idea about the hydrophobic interaction. Okay, see the first figure. These are the water molecules, as a labeling is there. These are the water molecules, and these are the non-polar molecule. Clear? Now in the second figure you observe that this non-polar molecule form a spherical surface by displacing this water molecule. See, this water molecule displaced, but in this case water molecule is not displaced, non-polar molecule is basically there. And when this non-polar molecule form a layer, that is known as also solvation layer, this water molecule displaced. So this condition is known as hydrophobic interaction. Okay, hydrophobic interaction. Okay, so in this case, in the first step, the entropy is basically less. Entropy is less. Okay, entropy is less. While in the second case, when non-polar molecule form its own layer, the entropy is basically increase. Okay, so this is all about the hydrophobic interaction. Now let's read the PPT so that you get a clear idea. Okay, so when we place a non-polar molecule in water, it leads to the organization of a water molecule that is energetically unfavorable. And this organization of water molecule around the non-polar molecule, there is a decrease in entropy. So when the non-polar molecule combine, as you shown in the figure, this is combined, then the entropy, then the water molecule is basically displaced. As you can see, this water molecule displaced and the entropy is increased. So this aggregation of non-polar molecule in water is known as hydrophobic interaction. This aggregation of non-polar molecule in water is known as hydrophobic interaction. So this is all about all the non-covalent forces, that is interaction, that basically I taught you in this class. Remember one point, this interaction is very important. So I hope that you like the video, and if you like it, then please subscribe. Okay, we will meet in our next video. Till then, thank you. Stay safe and stay healthy.